Looking at the logistics of this regatta, there are sure a lot of moving parts. How does Gary Bodie, you, the team, pull all this together, all these various elements to make this regatta happen?
Running the Rolex Miami OCR is actually a year-round thing. We never really stop thinking about it, and we never really stop planning for it. And we actually begin planning in earnest, 6-7 months before the regatta each year. We have to work with our host organizations here on Biscayne Bay and start organizing PROs and juries and umpires and working to get all the volunteers and the motorboats. I mean, it's a big effort to put this event on, and we're really dependent upon so many people here in Miami to really bring it to life. It's nearly a full-time job to run this regatta.
You've been, fair to say, at various parts of the equation here, from a competitor to organizer.
Yep.
How do you assess the level of competition you see here in 2011 versus years past?
This regatta, Rolex Miami OCR, is just gotten to be more and more competitive every year. Part of that is the level of professionalism in Olympic sailing and Paralympic sailing is going up. Part of it is the advent of the ISAF Sailing World Cup, so this is becoming a must-do for more and more sailors. And if you just look at the attendance numbers, I mean, it used to be a 300 or 400 person regatta. Now it's routinely a 700 or 800 person regatta. So, that in and of itself is going to make it more competitive. The last time I competed in the regatta was in 2000. So it's quite a bit different than it was then, for sure.
It seems to me, just looking at the roster of classes, that all the top sailors are here.
Yeah, in nearly every class you have most of, if not all of the top players. Again, a lot of countries use these World Cup events for funding, for national team selection. I think throughout 2011 we'll see them using these events for game selection for 2012. So there's a lot of things riding on it. From the U.S. Sailing Team Alpha Graphics standpoint, we've got funding, we've got national team status, there's performance bonuses, there's game selection, all sorts of things tied to this event.
So the team concept that you developed really in the last couple of years, how's that come together as far as the performance is concerned?
Our training culture and our team culture with the U.S. Sailing Team Alpha Graphics is doing great. Changing a culture is the hardest thing to do in any organization, and it takes a while. But our sailors are buying into it, our coaches are buying into it, we're training together, we're collaborating, we're sharing information, and everybody wins when you do that. You have a better training environment, the level gets raised, it's easier to follow for fans and family and friends back home because they see a real team squad mentality. It's better for our sponsors. It's really better for everybody, and we think it's going great.
I noticed also looking down the roster, there's a lot of youth development sailors here. A lot of them.
A lot of them.
And how are they doing?
We're doing great. Our development team concept is only 4 years old, and we're really trying to integrate them with our elite team, with our top Alpha Graphics team. And these young guys are pushing. You look at in the women's 470, Annie Hager and Brianna Provencha are doing great in the women's 470. Caleb Payne in the fin, Luke Lawrence in the fin. We've got a lot of young players, a lot of people in the laser, in the radial. Erica Renicky. These are the next generation of Olympians, and they're training right alongside our current generation of Olympians. So we think it's really working well.
So looking ahead, we're a year and a half out from Weymouth.
Yep.
As of today, what do you think the prospects are?
I think Olympic sailing and Paralympic sailing is a really competitive game, and we feel good about our progress in a lot of classes. We have some goals of where we want to be a year and a half from now, and we think we're on pace for most of those goals, not all of them. But the results speak for themselves, and we're clearly competitive in a number of events, and we're clearly close to being competitive in a number of other events. And we feel good about it. There's still 18 months to go, which some days feels like a long time, and other days feels like it's tomorrow. So it sort of depends on the day, how you feel about it.
Well, keep up with the good work.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks.